The year is 2024, and now we have an increasing number of couples in the United States self-reporting on how they are fans of polyamory and have engaged in polyamorous relationships. Now, polyamory, or consensual non-monogamy, if you want to put it that way, is the practice of having multiple intimate relationships, whether sexual or just romantic, with the full knowledge and consent of all parties involved. In other words, one of the most exhausting ways to live your personal life, and also one of the ways in which you can be kind of unbearable in constantly talking about your personal sexual life, as I've found with polyamorous couples.
Well, that's interesting, yeah. I don't know a lot of those couples, but I know actually I knew one, and you're right, they would never stop talking about it.
They love talking about it. Yeah. And like, listen, do you booze? Or do other people if you want. But like,
apparently.
Like, let's keep it together a little bit. Okay, so 22% of Americans say they have engaged in consensual non-monogamy, which is also sometimes called ethical non-monogamy, at some point in their life, according to a nationally representative study by researchers at the Kinsey Institute at Indiana University. That's a really high percentage, Cenk. 23%, that means nearly a quarter of Americans are just dipping all over the place.
Okay, well, that's one way.
With the permission of their, partner.
But so I read that carefully because I was like, if it's 23% of married people, that is a stunningly high number. But it turns out they mean of any relationship, in which case I too am an ethical non-monogamist. So
are you? You didn't have a polyamorous relationship, did you?
When I was dating?
Where everyone involved knows that you're, screwing around?
Twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think they liked you that much.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, all right.
No, and look, so to me, there was a giant divide between being single and being married. And so marriage is a huge commitment, right? And I take that super seriously. Before that, by definition, not committed, okay? Or partly committed. And so those conversations were easier to have. And it depended on what time in your life it was and how old are you or not. And so for some people, they like me, hey, younger made more sense. We're more open to many different relationships. For some folks, when they're middle-aged, they're like, this is a snooze fest, this marriage. Can we spice it up by bringing some people in? And hey, you do you, boo. And that's working for a lot of them, apparently.
All right. I'm realizing now that 23% of Americans aren't working hard enough because they have enough free time to mess around with a bunch of different people simultaneously. Who's got time for this? That's what I want.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who has time for multiple sexual partners? Who? I want to know. And whatever their jobs are, I want that job. I want that free time. I don't want the multiple relationships, but I do want that free time. So tell me what you're doing. What are you doing for money? Call me. Okay.
So I know this thing has totally gone away, but when I was younger, and I told people that I was Muslim, they'd be like, oh, you get to have 4 wives, right? And I was like, not really. But anyways, but if you were to assume that, as I got older and I started dating people, and then people would say that, I was like, have you ever dated anyone? You want 4 of those? You want 4 of those, and then you gotta run after this, and it's never enough. Okay, good luck, brothers and sisters. No amount of sex is worth that.
Research on sexual fantasy shows that nearly 1/3 of people in monogamous relationships report that being in some type of an open relationship is part of their favorite sexual fantasy.
Well, that means 2/3 of Americans are lying.
80% of those people said they'd act on the opportunity given the chance. I don't know, I'm a little bit worried about myself because I feel I am so uninterested, like almost to a, I think, unhealthy level. Like I don't see other men, I don't care about other men, and I kind of wish I did because I feel like I'm the only one who's in this like weird place where the idea of having another partner sounds terrible, exhausting, and if like my husband considered it for himself, I mean, there would be a slaughter.
Yeah, it's not for you, it's for other people.
It's definitely for other people.
Yeah.
And look, no judgment if you're into it, but like tone it down by constantly talking about it.
Yeah, that does happen. But they might be recruiting. That's why.
That's a good point. They're looking for new partners.
And how do they know unless they bring it up? Okay, and
That's
so
true.
you're extreme on it. I get it, but I am like, I have to confess that I'm skeptical. So we read the stories about how they struggle and stuff, but they're generally very happy. Man, jealousy is a hell of a thing, right?
100%. I know it well.
Yeah, I mean, look at, she's already planning murders of things that didn't even happen, right? So, and even in the articles that we read, like there's a guy who's kind of halfway being cucked, right? And he's like, well, I do wonder about it sometimes, and I'm like,
No.
and so it's impossible not to get jealous. It's just an awkward situation. On the other hand, look, guys, for most of human history, we did not grow up. We did not have a man and woman pairing. Okay, and I don't mean like, oh, we had nothing but men and women. No, like we would, for most of human history, we lived in groups, and people would have sex within the group, and a lot of times, most of those groups wouldn't even know who the dad was. Okay.
Oh, that's disastrous.
No, it's not disastrous. That's how we lived for most of humanity. It was totally fine.
No, you can't have that in modern society.
Modern society is different, totally different. I get it. But so in terms of what is our nature is not to be one man, one woman. It is not at all. That's a totally made up imaginary thing. And it was mainly done for ease of transferring property rights. So why was it one man, one woman? Because they're like, okay, well now we have kids. The kids have to be legitimate, so we pass it on to those heirs and not the ones you had illegitimately with the other lady, etc. Because it's all about property rights. That's why marriage came out, not because of love and not because of God.
Yeah, property rights. My partner's my property. Stay away. I'll kill you.
Okay, well that's
the
the other
property
way
rights we're talking. By the way, I don't actually see him as property. But you're right about the jealousy thing, and you're right that this isn't for everyone. And there are other downsides as well. So if you're considering this, if you have a loving relationship, but you're feeling a little feisty, you want to get a little naughty, and you want to maybe propose this to your partner, make sure you're informed on the upsides and downsides. For instance, first, there's dating. Just when you thought you'd put that hell behind you, it's expensive. Restaurants, hotels, cute outfits, and even condoms add up. The scheduling could make a military planner sweat. More relationships mean more drama. From in-laws to break up, not to mention the lack of sleep.
So there's two things in there that I want to address, the upside and downside. No, my favorite thing was dating. And the reason was mainly because of the stories. So you meet so many different people and half of them are amazing and half of them are amazing. And either way, it's such interesting stories. I totally miss that. I don't miss the expense, etc. But the downside in that quote is, wait, like your husband, okay, you've got in-laws with him. You also have in-laws with the boyfriend? Oh, no, come on, that's crazy.
That's too much.
That's too many in-laws.
Why would you invite that hell upon yourself? Like, anyway, whatever. People are having fun. As long as you're happy with it and this is what you want in your life, that's totally fine. It's just, it puzzles me and it might puzzle other people, but they're not living your life. You're living your life.
100%. And I will say this, don't let anybody judge you, including us, okay?
I mean,
if that's what you like, okay, we don't like it. That has nothing to do with your life. You like it.
Just let me judge you a little bit. Okay.
But you can do all the judging you want. They just don't have to accept your judgment.
Fine.
Right. And guys, look, half of them are gonna wind up disastrous. We all know that. And half of them are gonna be like, hey, this works for us and we're really happy. We don't give a damn what anybody thinks, right? But guess what happens when in a regular marriage? Half of them wind up happy and half of them wind up divorced. So what's the difference? So to each his own.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.